Lesson 4, topic similar figures, learning target. I can use proportions to solve problems involving similar figures. First off, similar figures are images that have the same shape but different sizes. So as you can see, these two shapes given, they have the same general shape. So you see like the slanted side here, slanted side, smaller bottom, longer on the top. But one is just bigger. So we have this one is bigger than the other. So they just have different sizes. And then there is what's called a scale factor, which is the ratio of the original size to the new size. So if we had the original size was like this side was 4, and then this side was 2, the ratio would be 4 to 2. The original size was 4, but then the new size, the smaller size, was 2. So we're going to use proportions and similar figures to find the missing length. So the following rectangles are similar. So we have the small rectangle and the big rectangle. Find the missing length. So to set up our proportion, we can do it different ways. So we can have one of our fractions be for the small figure, be the small fraction, and one of our fractions can be for the big one. So let's try that way. So for the small figure, we have 3.2 and we have x. So then when we write the big fraction, we have to go in that same order. So if we started with 3.2, we'd have to start with 4 because they're on the same side of the rectangle. And then across from x would be the 7.5. So now that we have our proportion, all we have to do is solve it. So remember, to solve our proportion, we have that cross multiplication piece. So we find the two numbers that are across from each other, so no variable. So we have these two are across from each other with no variable, so we're going to multiply those. So we do 3.2 times 7.5, and that is 24. And then we just divide it by the remaining number. We're going to do 24 divided by 4, and we get 6. So that is the missing length. So let's try another example. We have a tree casts a shadow of 10 feet long. So we have a tree. Ignore my, cool tree drawing. And it casts a shadow of 10 feet long. So the sun is shining, casting the shadow, and this shadow is 10 feet long. At the same exact time of day, a 5-foot woman, so a woman over here, doing her thing, and she's 5 feet tall, and casts a shadow of 4 feet long. Draw a diagram. Check, did that as we were going, and use a proportion to find the height of the tree. We want to know, hey, how tall is this tree? We can set up our proportion. I'm going to make the first fraction represent our woman. So her height was 5 feet and her shadow was 4. So this is for the woman. And then the second fraction I'm going to have be for the tree. Now the height of the tree we don't know, so I'm going to put an X. And the length of the shadow was 10. So just note that you have to do the same thing on the top. So on the top we did the height of the object or the person, and then on the bottom we did the length of the shadow. So that has to stay consistent, okay? So now that we set up our proportion, we can solve it. So again, we're going to multiply the two numbers that are in the diagonal. We're going to do 5 times 10. 5 times 10 is 50. And then we are going to divide that by the remaining number. The remaining number is 4, so we're going to do 50 divided by 4, and we get 12.5. So that tells me that the height of the tree is 12.5 feet. One last example, and we're going to use a scale factor on this one. So use the scale factor to solve for the missing length. So the scale factor of left to right is 3:4, or 3/4. So I'm going to have that be one of my fractions, 3/4. So this is going to be a little different because we went from left to right. So left is this side, right is this side. So on the top from the left, we're going to put the 21. And on the bottom for the right, we're going to put that unknown, that question mark. I'm going to change that to an X for our variable. And then we can solve this. So to solve it, we're going to take the two numbers in the diagonal with no variable, multiply those. So 21 times 4 is 84. And then we are going to divide that by the remaining number. So 84 divided by 3 is 28. So our answer is 28. That's all the notes I have for you. Thank you for watching this video, and please move into your practice.